got it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. If you have not had the opportunity to check out our website, I would encourage you to do so. On our website is an article from 3 teachers who are currently teaching in Orange County schools that have gone through our alternative licensure program, and they have some thoughts to share. It's a wonderful article. It's from 3 different perspectives, and it gives you some good insight as to what the program is like. So I just wanted to highlight that for a moment because you can go to our website where you register and read that article and kind of give you some information of what our program is about. So a little bit about the agenda today. We are going to start with the information session. This is our education piece to educate you about what it takes to become a teacher if you did not come through a traditional teacher education program. And we're going to talk about licensure and all of that entails. After our session today, we have universities lined up for you to go and speak to talk about what programs they have and how they might support you. The sessions, and let me show you that you received the agenda. If not, I will put the link in the chat box at the end of my presentation. It is also, it should be on the agenda. The agenda is your ticket for navigating today. And you can see there are 3 different sessions. 9:30 to 10:05, and then it continues on. There's a little bit of break, and it continues going. You get to choose what universities you go to see. We don't choose for you, but we would encourage you to go to more than one. I always say we have great university partners, and they can offer you a lot of things, but it's all about a good fit for you and what it is that is a good program for you. And by the end, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about in terms of program. But as you scroll down the agenda, please note that all the meeting links are there. They're all public links, so you should be able to access them without downloading anything or whatever the case may be. But they're all public links. They give you a description of each, and you can see which colleges are available. And we do have a host of colleges. If you, like I said, it's all about choice and what meets your individual needs. So in saying that, some folks might say, why do you do this? Why does Orange County promote trying to help people become teachers? Well, you may know that there's a teacher shortage in not just in North Carolina, but in the United States. But beyond that, why do we do it? Because who better to serve our kids than the folks in our own community? Okay, we know you're invested in the community. You know you live here. And if we're going to recruit, we want to recruit from within our own community. So I always like to tell people that if you were I don't know if I get raise of hands, but a lot of folks, I have 3 children. 2 have well, I actually have 5. I have 2 stepchildren. I'm not sure that they know what they want to do at the age of 22, right? So sometimes it takes a little bit. Some people, after a few years, reconsider their values and reconsider what's important to them. But I will tell you this, there is no more rewarding job than teaching. I still think back, even the jobs I've had in my history of Orange County School, I will still go back to teaching as being the most rewarding, where you have an impact on the lives of children. And so I will tell you, welcome to the world of education, and welcome to being one of the most rewarding professions that you can be in. We do have a strategic plan in Orange County. If you're interested in reading it, it is located on the website. And part of that strategic plan is about recruiting and retaining a quality staff. And I'm not going to go through all the details and bore you with all the details, because you came here to learn about licensure. But I do want to tell you that it is important to us. We do have goals around that. And we are dedicated to making sure that every classroom has a quality teacher. And so you can read those. If you want to go to the website, you're more than welcome, but there they are. Okay, so now to talk about licensure. How many of you, give me a thumbs up or raise a hand if you ever heard the word lateral entry? Erase that word from your memory. Lateral entry sunsetted in 2019. There is no such thing as lateral entry anymore. And it was replaced with something we call residency license. So please put that back in your memory, residency license. So what does that mean? Well, in the state of North Carolina, and if there's one slide that you refer back to the most, it should be this one. In the state of North Carolina, when you did not come through a traditional teacher ed program, there are 3 types of alternative license we can apply for. And the first rule for that is you have to be employed in a teaching position first. So we have employees on this call that are employed in teaching positions that are still working on licensure, right? So that's the first rule. You cannot, as an individual, go and apply for these licenses. I have to do it. But the first rule is you have to be employed in a teaching position. The first one is called a permit to teach. Oftentimes when people come in, that's the first license I go for. A permit to teach is a 1-year non-renewable license, meaning you can only have a permit to teach one time. And the requirements is that you have a bachelor's degree from an accredited university. It doesn't say what the bachelor's degree has to be in. You just have to have a bachelor's degree. We often use these for very hard to fill positions that we are struggling to find certified individuals with. I use it when you come in because very oftentimes you're going to get paid at the what we call A0, which means beginning level teacher. And it gives you an additional year to think about whether this is what you want to do, okay? But again, bachelor's degree from accredited university, one time, can't renew it, and it's paid out at a beginning teacher salary. The second license is called an emergency license. It is also a 1-year non-renewable license. You also have to have a bachelor's degree from accredited university. And you have to have 18 hours of relevant coursework. Now, I am going to revisit in just a bit what relevant coursework means. But I have to verify that you have 18 hours of relevant coursework. And the advantage to the emergency license is that you can add experience. So a lot of times people come at teaching and they think, oh, I got to start all over again. I got to start at A0. And that is the case at times. But there's also experience you can add to your license. So for example, if you're a CTE business teacher and you've worked at different corporations in business fields, relevant fields, you can add that to your license and it will put you at a higher pay. I always use the example, I had a fire marshal who came in to one of our CTE courses, and he came in at 30 years of experience because he had 30 years as a fire marshal. So there's some hoops you have to jump through for that. I can help you with that. But again, know that it is a lot. You can add relevant coursework. And a lot of times if we don't go for the permit to teach, it is because you have a lot of relevant course or relevant work that can be added to your license. The third and final license, and the license that you have to work towards, is called a residency license, okay? It is a one-year renewable license, but it is renewable twice, which in essence makes it a 3-year license, okay? Again, you still have to have the bachelor's degree from accredited university. You have to have 24 hours of relevant coursework, or you have to pass the state board test. And again, I'm going to come back and tell you what those things mean in a second, but it is an or, not an and. You have to enroll in what we call an EPP, which is an educational preparation program. We're going to talk about what that is also. And you can add experience to a residency license. So again, residency license is the ultimate goal, but oftentimes we can start at a permit to teach and work our way towards residency because you're missing some of these requirements. I have a lot of people who come in and it's actually 1-year permit, 1-year emergency license, 3-year residency, which in essence gives you 5 years to get your license clear. Okay. So again, this is just a summary. What is a residency license? It's a 1-year license, renewable twice, and it's a 3-year license. Bachelor's degree, 24 hours of relevant coursework. There are a couple of other requirements. Most educational preparations require you to have a 2.7 GPA. If you don't have that, there's some workarounds that they'll talk with you about. A lot of times they'll enroll you and let you take a couple of classes and establish a GPA, and then you can go into their program. And then there are also 10 days pre-service. We provide that. It's not always pre-service because sometimes you don't start in the beginning of the year, but in essence, we provide the pre-service, which is your professional development program, to make sure that you are getting things as you are teaching. So I want to revisit what relevant coursework means, okay? So relevant coursework, that all depends on what you want to teach. So if you want to teach elementary education or exceptional children, it is 24 hours total, 2 to 3 courses in each content area. So you would need 2 to 3 courses in math, 2 to 3 courses in science, ELA, and social studies. If you want to teach high school math, you're going to need 24 hours of math coursework. If you want to teach science, it would be 24 hours of science coursework. The overlying, and think about it this way, the overlying theme is that the DPI wants to know that you have the content to teach. We know you don't have the education, but they're ensuring that you have the content to teach. When you go to CTE, there's some combinations of things we can do. Sometimes we can look at your work experience plus your degree, and we don't necessarily have to go the residency route. But if we do go the residency route, we're still looking at 24 hours. And so if it's CTE, if you're going for a marketing, you're going to need 24 hours in marketing. Okay. So there are, and I know I could do a whole nother session on CTE, but just know if you're interested in CTE, we can look at some different options for you. How do you determine that? And this is important. So you will need to get an official copy of your transcript. If you don't have one, go ahead and get it because you're going to need it, right? And the way in which you evaluate that is you look at the course codes. And so the course codes, if it's math, it's going to have to say math. If it's ELA, it's going to have to say ELA, or writing, literature would count also. Social studies and science are more broad. It's, social studies would be sociology, history, political science, etc. Science could be physics, chemistry, earth science, biology, etc. The one that I think people get most hung up on is math. I get people come in and say, I took a economics statistics class, but unless it has that math prefix, DPI will not, they'll kick it out. So I'm very peculiar about when looking at it, because I want to make sure when it gets to that level that you haven't done a lot of work for nothing. So now again, you can evaluate your own transcripts. In each one of these cases, you're looking for the total of 24 to go on residency. Now, some people come in and say, I have 18 hours. I really want to be an English teacher and I have 18 hours. What can I do? You can go take the praxis. Wouldn't revise it. Most people don't pass it unless they have the educational piece, because it's not just a test of how much ELA, it's a test of teaching. So what you also can do is enroll in a community college and take a few courses and get up to 24 hours. And I say community college, you can enroll anywhere. DPI does not care where you get it from, but I often say community college is a cheaper option, and they have much more flexible options when you're looking at trying to get up to the 24 hours. But again, some people occasionally say, I would rather go the praxis or the state board route. So there are tests you can take rather than the 24 hours. I've listed, and by the way, this presentation is attached to the calendar invite and the agenda, so you have access to it. But there are 2 links here to tell you what the state board tests are for particular subject areas. I don't recommend that. I would say first call me. If you're going to go that route, call me first. Let me verify what test you need to take, and let's look at your transcript together and talk about it. But again, you will have to pass these tests eventually. but it is usually part of your program. So what is an EPP? Okay, so we often refer to EPPs as licensure only or residency programs. And so basically they are programs that are specifically designed for people who are coming at teaching it as a second profession, who only need the education components. Almost every university out there has one. And I always tell people I don't have a go to this one or go to that one. What I say to everyone is go find the one that fits you the best. Some are all online. Some are hybrid, meaning it's some online and some in person. And some are all in person. So it depends on your learning style and kind of what you feel fits you the best. And so you can see that these are, I have some of them listed here. I probably don't have all of them, but we do have, like I said, our universities here for you to talk about what their programs look like. So typically speaking, just to give you an idea, most of our universities work off modules. It's 6 modules. Takes about 1.5 years to complete. Most of them are self-paced, not all. And then the cost range, but I would say a good estimate is about $4,500. You don't usually have to pay it all up front. You pay it by the semester. And the good news for you is also that if you're employed by us and you've worked for 1 year and you've been successful, we will help you pay for it. We have a tuition reimbursement program in which we pay 75% of your tuition. You just have to agree to teach with us for a certain amount of time. And then if you don't, you pay us back. But you have to be employed with us for 1 year and be in good standing with the district. So we try to help you on that one. Let me also go back.
There's a question in the chat. I don't know when you wanted to talk through those.
Let me go back to this. Let me also say there are a couple of programs that are not university-based that you can look at. There are teachers for I think it's teachers. I have teachers for tomorrow, but I believe it's teachers of tomorrow. There is CCTI. There is Teach NC. So there are a couple of programs out there that are not university-based. And at the bottom of your agenda, I have put a link to some of those. They're not here with us today, but they have beautiful websites that you can go to and check out their programs and what they offer. And they do things a little bit differently, but they're still the same concept. Again, this is just if you don't. So let me address some of you who maybe you don't have your 4-year degree yet, and you've been working, maybe you have a 2-year degree. We have universities that offer what they call TA to teach programs. And those programs are designed for people with 2-year degrees who want to work on a 4-year education degree. And they're designed for people who are working. So I know Central is offering a session today for if that is your situation. And I also know East Carolina is. It's called Partnership East, and Central's is called TA #2 Teach. So look for that on your agenda if that's your situation, and they will help you, look at where you're at in terms of your degree and how you get there and what programs they can offer to you. So just a few other parts. I just want to say this again because people get confused about this. You cannot apply for residency or any of those unless you are in a teaching program, right? The license. But you can go into a residency program at any time. We hire people all the time that are in a residency program at Central or NC State or A&T or wherever, right? Nothing keeps you from, if this is really what you want to do, going ahead and enrolling in a program. We just can't apply for the license until you are hired into a teaching program. But you can enroll in a residency program with a university at any given time. Okay, so I tell people don't wait. And some people like to get a teaching position and work on it while they're teaching. Other people say, nope, I want to have that. I want that experience first. And then I'll go apply for a teaching program, and that's totally your preference. So I'm going to stop for a minute and try to answer a few questions before I turn it over to Ms. Woods. I'm going to look. Let's see. Okay, great question. What if you have a bachelor's degree from another country? So if you went to school outside of the United States, you will need to seek a degree evaluation company. And basically what they will do is translate your transcripts and assign you what the equivalent degree is in the United States. The last I looked, the cost for that was, there is some cost involved, but it was $200-300. And then once you get that, then you will bring that and let us look at it. But that would be your first step, is to get that degree equivalent translation from, and like I said, there are lots of companies out there. I couldn't name them and probably couldn't give you a recommendation. I certainly wouldn't give you a recommendation of which one, but that would be your first step. Let's see. I think that's all for the question. Okay, so I am going to turn it over to Rhonda, because if you're interested in becoming a teacher, you should also be interested in beginning teacher support. Because I can tell you from all my years of doing this, hiring is the first step. How we support you after that is really important. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Wood to talk about beginning teacher support. And would you like to project your own screen, Rhonda, or you want me to pull it up?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, so let me stop sharing.
All right. Let me get my screen shared. Uh-oh. I can't. You have it disabled. Here we go. All right, so again, I work for the Orange County school system to help provide a support structure for all of our beginning teachers within the district. And like Connie said, this should be something that you really look into as you're selecting a position, just to ensure that there is something there. We have worked for a couple of years since I've been here, together with our curriculum and instruction department, as well as our human capital department, to help ensure that you guys are supported. So I just want to talk a little bit about what we've developed over the past 2 years that I've been here. So we started out looking at our teaching working conditions survey. There's a section in there that allow our first year, second year, third year teachers to share out their successes and their failures and their lacking and their needs and their things that are going well within the beginning teacher support. And so we've created a structure to help build the capacity of our new teachers to work side by side with a mentor. So they have side by side coaching with a specific focus, and our focuses have been developed from our curriculum and instruction framework. So there are some things that in Orange County that we believe in. These are the things that successful instruction looks like. And so we have put those into bite-sized pieces to work with our beginning teachers and our mentors. There's built-in opportunities for our mentors to go and watch our beginning teachers teach, and then in turn go and have our beginning teachers watch our mentor teach. And those are all based on the specific focuses within their mentor log. The three big pillars are building a safe classroom community, delivering instruction, and the implementing of the instructional strategies. And so those are the big three focuses that they have as beginning teachers with their mentors throughout their 3 years of teaching. So in order to help beginning teachers build their capacity and build that level of success, it is to differentiate the support, differentiate the focus by their years of teaching. So in your first year, you have different areas of focus with your mentor than you have with your second year, and then in your third year. Addition that we added this past year from feedback from our beginning teachers as well as our mentors is to hold monthly meetings with all folks on campus. This has been going really, really well. If you think back to first starting anything, knowing that you're not alone is always nice. And so building this cohort on campus to walk through and talk through different challenges, different things that are going well, has been a very good, successful time for our folks. Um, Another thing that I think is a really big perk here is that our campuses have math coaches, literacy coaches, and digital learning coaches. Again, we get feedback from our beginning teachers 3 times a year, and this has been a highlight. Our beginning teachers really appreciate the support that's available from the coaches that are on their campuses. Okay. Another thing that's super exciting and we have really great feedback about is that we partner with our UNC with our new teacher support program. So we have two coaches that work with alternative license folks. We really do try to partner them up with a UNC coach. This year we have 2 cohorts so that they could stay on campus, and they work alongside instead of a on-campus mentor, which they will still have access to a buddy, but they really work closely with our UNC coaches. They also our UNC coaches provide professional learning for our mentors to help build their capacity as coaches, as support structures. And then as well as our mentors, they provide a um, meeting agenda for our monthly meetings, as well as hold Saturday sessions or virtual sessions to help build our beginning teacher capacity. And that's really a quick down and dirty of what we have here in Orange County. And so I did want to give you a chance to ask questions. I have my information here on the screen if you'd rather just send me an email. But yeah, that's our beginning teacher support structure in Orange County.
So we are butting up to the start time for our first session, which is 9:35. And I do want to give our universities their full time, and I also want to give a shout out to Central, who I believe attended our beginning session. So thank you, Wave Central. I see you. Yeah, thank you for coming today. So if you feel that you've gotten what you need and you want to hop off, go ahead and hop over to the university session. I am going to stay on this link in case you have a problem getting on, or if you want to stay back and ask a personal question, or if a session ends in that break time, come back and I will answer your individual questions. So I'll keep the link open. The one thing I did want to say is, there was a question, can you be employed as a teacher before you get, yes, you absolutely can. We have people on this call who are employed to teach right now who are looking to get into a residency program. Okay. So again, thank you. I'm going to keep the link open. If you have a technical difficulty, come back to the link and I'll help you. And then if you have a question, come back during the break time and I will be glad to answer your individual questions. I hope you enjoy our university sessions and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you for attending.